Excuse me. What's up, guys?
Well, how was the team after, about 5 days off, I guess?
Quite honestly, a little bit sloppy, but understandably so. The first day back after some considerable time off, especially the vets who we gave quite a bit of time off last weekend anyway. So it was good to get back and really get running. But I think we'll see vast improvement over the next couple days, and then we'll take 3 days off, and then we'll really get going. But a little sloppy, but again, understandably so. I thought they worked hard, just a little bit off.
Have you started game planning for Baylor then, or how does that process
Not quite.
work?
There's some things we're looking at, of potential plays that'll be in the game plan, but we'll actually implement the game plan next week. So these next couple practices will be things we're looking at, but more so just getting back playing football, getting used to football speed, and getting into football condition again.
There's a report out of LA that UCLA contacted you.
I've not been contacted.
You've not been contacted at all. So you're refuting the report?
Yes, I've not been contacted.
And just if you were,
Well, the point of it is, and I said it before, I'm not going to engage in speculation and rumors, because hopefully as we continue to get better here and we win even more games, those speculation and rumors are going to grow in numbers, and I don't feel like I should have to come and talk and answer about speculation and rumors every time they come up.
They're coming up, of course, with some of your assistants as well. Do you like that? Do you like seeing? I'm sure you miss them, but do you like sending them on?
I think so. Again, that's a sign of our success, and that we're getting better, and that people are noticing. And so, I think that if our assistants have opportunities to go on and be head coaches or position coaches to be able to go on and be coordinators at good places, more power to them, and deservedly so. I wish them the best of luck. That's what part of this process is about. It's about growing as a program and getting better and earning opportunities. And we've got tremendous coaches on the staff, and I think as we continue to grow, there'll be more opportunities for those guys.
On another note, you guys are you could have a unique opportunity to face a Heisman winner
Sure.
in the bowl game. Do you think there's some guys that might be rooting on your team for him to win because of that? Or
I don't know. He's a dang good player. Robert is a tremendous player. His ability to throw, his ability to run, the way he navigates their up-tempo offense, and then what he represents for college football. He's a good young man. And so either way, I think if he gets that big trophy or not, we're going to have our hands full, come December 29th.
Can you talk about your trip down to San Antonio and just your overall impression of Baylor's head coach and the media down there?
Well, I thought the Alamo Bowl in general, from first impressions, first class. San Antonio is a great city. They've done a tremendous job with that bowl game. Had an opportunity to visit with Coach Briles, and he's a good football coach. He's a good man, and I think it shapes up for a nice ball game. Going to a venue where we haven't been before, to a city where we haven't been before, I think is a great opportunity for our kids, but also for our fan base, our alumni, to get down to San Antonio and represent. Obviously, we know Baylor's going to be well represented, and we want to make sure we have enough purple there as well.
Will you maybe go into full pads in the next day or two? Or
Yes, we will.
Will there be anybody limited then when you do that?
Not outside of the guys that already are limited. Schamberger's still nursing the stinger there. That just hasn't quite gotten the strength back, but it's good to see Gilliland back out there. Obviously, James Sample coming off the surgery won't be able to go. So, we'll monitor a few of those guys and just to see how they continue to build. But for the most part, we're back going again.
Can a Texas appearance have any recruiting echoes or bounce for you guys?
Potentially. I think there is. We've dabbled into that area of that region of the country a little bit already. When the speculation, of the expansion of the Pac-12, we were trying to be proactive and get ourselves prepared for that. And now it just so happens that we're going down to San Antonio to play in that game. So it gives us an opportunity to expand on that a bit. I don't know how much time we'll really spend down there in Texas, but I think there's some unique opportunities for us in there, and this can only add to that.
Inexperience didn't seem to affect you guys in the bowl game last year, but having been to a bowl game, does that help you at all this year?
Well, it should. Just from a coordination standpoint as a football organization. I knew what we wanted to get done last year, and I think Dennis Slutak, our football operations, did a great job of getting ourselves to that point. But it was new for a lot of people, and now obviously with the familiarity of the way we work, how we work, when we're going to enjoy our times, I think are there. And so I'd like to think it's there. One thing that I'm cautioned to is that we don't just become complacent thinking we've got this magical formula that's going to automatically make us go play well. We've got to work, and we've got to work at this thing. We've got to prepare. We need to practice well to get ourselves for that moment come the night of the 29th.
Coach, talk about the decoration there at the 50-yard line, the Alamo Bowl thing. Is that like a visual thing for your players? Or?
I think it's a lot of things. One, it's a reminder of where we're headed. It was great efforts on the university's part to get the logo in the middle of the field, and just to give us a little perspective of where we're headed, and also a little bit of, that's what it's going to look like come the 29th, and that's what's going to be in the middle of the field, and just trying to make sure our comfort level is where it needs to be.
You guys are playing in a dome, and you kind of have a little mini dome here. I mean, does that help, I guess?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Kind of a little bit of the feel, the depth perception is obviously something from a quarterback standpoint and from a receiver standpoint we'll need to get used to when we get down there. But I think this gives us a pretty good, as good as this feel as you're going to get if you're going to go play in a dome. I forgot, side note, Tanagawa had his surgery this morning too, guys, so he's in recovery right now.
Do you have a timetable then?
I think it's just the typical ACL recovery. Some guys a little quicker, some guys not as quick, and see how the swelling and how his knee responds to the rehab as he starts to go.
Since it took a little while to get to it because it was swelling, where are you thinking training camp-wise? Is training camp maybe a iffy
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure, I'd say iffy right now because we just don't know. I think we all would have wished to have the surgery the very next day, but our doctors assure me this is the best thing going forward for him is to wait to get that swelling down. And I think knowing Colin Tanagawa and his work ethic, he's going to do everything in his power to be prepared for training camp, and we'll get to that point and see what's the best thing for him as we move forward, and not just for that training camp, but as we move forward into next season and then seasons beyond.